Good morning, good morning, good morning, good morning. It is Thursday and it feels like a Friday. I want to thank the Father for this day and thank every person that is logging on at this moment. Hey, I'm believing that we are going to have a great weekend. My kids don't have school tomorrow, and that brings great joy into my life. It brings great joy into my life. If your kids don't have school tomorrow, I know that probably brings a lot of joy into your life. I want to just say good morning to Navy, Barrera, love you. Jerry, love you, man. Pastor Eduardo, blessings. It does feel like Friday, right, Emma? It feels like a Friday. I don't know. I don't know if the Lord just wants to do something greater at this moment, but it feels like a Friday. Feels like a Friday. Johanna, blessings, love you. Anne Marie, good morning, good morning. You know, and Rocky, Norma, blessings, good morning, good morning. I just want to say I love you all. You know, good morning. The world didn't explode yesterday with the debates. I have not seen the debates. I recorded them. I would like to hear both sides and be able to see it. So I haven't even looked at any news to see what people thought or what were people's perception or what they thought about it. I'm just waiting so that I can look at it myself and kind of make my own judgment, you know, on how it went. I don't need you to tell me anything. I haven't looked. I haven't even gone on Instagram. The only reason I've gone to Instagram is to be able to start streaming, you know. So I just know that for some reason yesterday, I really believe like God just started releasing, like, okay, I'll put it like this. I felt refreshed. I felt refreshed in Christ. I felt like things are going to get better. Like, I know a lot of us, we've been in a very different type of place. It's been a pandemic type of place. But it's, I don't know. I just started feeling a joy yesterday. And it just really started making me think about a lot of things. Sonia, good morning. Luis, good morning. Amaris, good morning. And I just started to feel, Sonia, thank you. Jacqueline, good morning. I just started to say, Vanessa, mija, no te he visto por un tiempo. I love you. Isaac, blessings. I don't know. I just feel like there's a joy in my life. And sometimes you have to look for that joy. Sometimes you have to be intentional about it. Am I saying that I don't have problems right now? And am I saying that everything in my life makes sense at this moment? No, it doesn't. Everything in my life does not make sense in this moment. But I've been, like, my wife and I, we've been working on the organization of how 2021 is going to look like. What is a church going to look like in a whole? We've been really just intentionally having meetings, regrouping our teams, just really building. Let me change this music. Really just building, and it's really been something that, I don't know, it's really bringing a joy and excitement back into my life. It's been nice to kind of just be able to plan again, you know, to dream again. So it's been nice. It's been really, really nice. You know, so I'm really enjoying this season that we're basically dreaming again. Erica, good morning. Nacy, I missed your birthday the other day, but I told your mom to say happy birthday. I love you, Nacy. I appreciate you. And I love you with all my heart, girl. And Joe, Natalia, good morning. Erica, good morning. And it's just, look at, sometimes we just have to make a decision on, okay, what are the battles that I will fight in this day? And what are the things that I'm just going to let go? What are the things that I'm just going to kind of like, I'm not going to focus so much on that, but I am going to focus on this. This week, I've been talking about how we cannot get so caught up on the issues or the feelings, and we need to go to the priority of things. We need to go to the priority of what is the reality? What is real? What is real, and what is it that I have to change at this moment? there's 5 things that I wanted to share today with you. And note takers, get ready. Write them down. Good morning, Levia. Good morning, and Jacqueline. Good morning. There's 5 things that I want you to just think about during this weekend and in your life, because we're all surrounded with different things. We're all surrounded with different areas that we need answers in. We all are surrounded in different ways, different battles. My battle might be easy for you, but your battle might be easy for me. So those are things that we really have to look at. The first one here is, I need an energy source to recharge my spiritual and emotional batteries. It doesn't matter what may be going on in your life. The priority has to be something greater than who you are. And there's not a man on this earth or a woman on this earth that is greater than who you are. The only one that is greater is Jesus. The only one that, like I said, I think it was yesterday, no other name is greater than the name of Jesus. So there is no other. So for my emotional sanity, the energy, that I don't allow what's going on in the world to just overshadow me and to just push me to the side and to just break me in a way that I cannot be repaired. I need to be able to recharge my spiritual life, my spiritual battery, and my emotional batteries. If I break that up in 2 areas right there, and that's number 1, the spiritual, we have to constantly make sure, and I preached about this on Sunday, that we have to make sure that there's 3 ways that we can do it in our life. There's 3 ways. The first way is that our spiritual and emotional life can be balanced. So it's kind of like an equilibrium, and when we look at it, it could be like your spiritual intake and your spiritual output, are at an even level. The second way that you can do it is that your outtake is greater than your input, and that always causes problems. That always causes so many problems, because then you're constantly drained, you're constantly exhausted, you're constantly like, where do I go from here? I feel like just giving up. And then the other way is this way, that you can have your spiritual input be so great, but your output is not that much, but you are still giving, but you're receiving so much that your output is not being affected. Your mind is not being affected. So when I look at spiritual, I have to make steps to be able to start fixing those areas. So number 1, I need to recharge my spiritual and emotional batteries in my life. So when I look at the spiritual, I have to find peace with the decisions that I'm making. Before I make, Isai, blessings, love you. Before I make any decision in my life, I'm always making sure that I have all the information that I can possibly have. I was speaking to someone, and we were speaking about, thank you, Emma. We were speaking about certain things that are going on right now. And I said, it's very easy to critique or to have this conversation, but the reality is we don't have all the information. And I said, I find it unfair to critique or to have a full-on conversation when we don't have all the information. Now, if there is a lack of information that is able to get to you, and it will not be able, under no circumstance, that information will not get to you, then you have to work off of what you have. You have to work off of what has been given to you. But if I have a possibility of getting all the information, like when we have to make really big decisions in the ministry, my wife and I, we make sure that we have all the information. And when there's something that will affect the entire ministry, we make sure to make a portfolio with all the information that is needed, interviews, people's names of whatever's going on, or if there's an accusation or whatever it is that may be going on, or maybe there was something that was preached that was not correct, or maybe they're leading the church in a way that is very different from the way that we're running our ministry when it comes into the biblical foundational stuff. People get confused. People do dumb stuff, and when we do that, what my wife and I will do, we'll basically put a whole entire folder together for my father and for the apostles of this ministry, and just like, hey, this is what's going on. This is all the information that you asked for. These are the signed testimonies. This is everything that's going on, and this is in your hands. This is in your hands. Because at the same time, if we are looking to make good decisions in your business, when someone comes and tells you something, you need to make sure that you have all the proper information. That's why a lot of times I like to ask a question before going to the root of what's going on. A question that I ask a lot of people: how are you doing? How's your marriage? How are these different things? Because when you start asking those questions, you can see when someone pauses, when someone kind of has to start thinking, like, what do I really want to say at this moment? So the first one is we have to charge our spiritual battery. Our life with God has to continue growing because we will be challenged. Can someone on the screen tell me if they have been challenged, this week? Maybe you've had challenges in this week. I want to see on the screen. Or maybe you could even put up on that screen what were, maybe in a short sentence, what were some challenges that you had in your life this week? If you could just put that up on the screen. Because at the same time, maybe what you're going through is the same thing that someone else is going through. Maybe what you're going through, someone else went through. Jetty, okay, so Jetty, has some challenges this week, and you know what? Thank you for that. Because the thing is, when we look at it, we in this world, we will have bumps. We will have things, we will have things that has taken us out. Xavier, e-teaching, Xavier, he's one of our worship leaders at the church, and he's also in charge of working with different areas with helping the community. He's a teacher, so teaching online, that is definitely a challenge. Emma, thumbs up. So when I look at this, we all have moments where we have challenges. We have moments where we feel exhausted. So we have to be able to fill ourselves up. I encourage you in filling your spiritual battery. Take moments in the day that you can maybe listen to a preaching. You could open up our app, and right there in our app, you can find, a bunch of different type of messages that can really be a big blessing in your life. And then when we're talking about emotional batteries, you have to find time to have peace. With your emotional batteries, you gotta make sure that you're doing your part, that you're like, okay, I'm sometimes in your emotional battery, and I'm going to say it like this. Sometimes what you need to do to regain your emotional strength and your mindset, certain people can't continue rolling with you. Certain people can't continue walking with you because the thing is, certain people, all they will do in your life is drain you. There's certain people that I know I would never go on a vacation with because they're just draining. Good morning, babe. And the thing is, when I look at that, our spiritual and emotional battery is something that we cannot take for granted. It is something that we have to focus and say, okay, I have to make it a priority to have my spiritual life and my emotional life under control. Emotionally, a lot of times people can be good spiritually and they're looking for God, but then they don't get their emotions in check. Get your emotions in check. Stop being so negative with yourself. Stop being so negative with people around you. Just stop being stop being negative and thinking that you are not good enough, that you cannot do it, that it doesn't matter what you do, that it's not gonna happen. Amaris, can you expand on that? On that word that you put there. I want to make sure that I'm trying to understand it. And the thing is, we have to make sure that it comes right back to, we have to be able to have our spiritual and emotional life either in perfect harmony, or have our spiritual life be greater than the emotional side that is going on in our life, because we need strength. We need God to strengthen us. And you know what? There has been so much negativity in this time, only with close people, I shared this, and it was just with a couple people that I shared this with. And it was basically with family. And one of the things that I shared was, I said that, yes, that is true, Amaris. And I agree with Amaris. There are certain people in our lives that will drain us. And when you start realizing, like, say for instance, if people are always coming to you with drama, they're always bothered about something, they're working, but then they're complaining about their work, or there's always gossip tied to them. If there's ever a problem, that person's name always pops up there. That person is always asking for a favor. It's just always something. There's always an issue. There's never a moment that you can just be like, what's going on? And just let's do life. And that falls in a lot of different. Okay, we're getting a lot of hearts with that, so I'm getting that there's other people that feel the same way, because it's something. But we have to find a way to have our spiritual life and our emotional life in perfect harmony. And if you're gonna make it different, then the only difference that will really make a difference in your life, that will lift you up, is having your spiritual life be greater than what is going on emotionally. Emotionally could be your problems. Emotionally could be the things that you are going through. And like Amari said, it will drain you. It will drain your strength. Have you ever spent time with someone, and when you spend time with that person, when you're done spending time with that person, it's like you feel exhausted. When I would go for my flights, when I would finish, I would fly maybe like 2-3 hours, at times. And when I would finish the flight, I was just drained completely. I had like no strength for nothing. Sometimes I had to like finish and just go unwind or take a nap or something. But I was just emotionally, from so much tension and decisions and everything, I was just drained. I was done. And sometimes when we spend time with people, we realize that that's how we feel. I'm sorry to tell you this. It's not healthy. Now, if it's your husband and your wife, you said I do, okay? If it's a boyfriend or girlfriend, then you really need to evaluate, do I really need this person in my life? Because like I think it was my mom that told me this, in a marriage, what you have right now, when you get married, you can amplify it by 85%. If it was great when you were dating, you can pretty much bet that when you get married, it's going to be even greater. But if it was bad when you were dating, then pretty much get ready, because it's going to be really bumpy, when you get married. So when Emma is true, and the thing is, cutting someone off doesn't mean that you don't love them. Cutting someone off, it just means, we cannot walk together. To walk together with someone, you have to be in agreement. The word of God says that we must be in agreement with that person. Tell me, dime con quien anda y te diré quién eres. Whoever you're walking with, and I know that's not an exact scripture, but it's when you start looking at the word of God, it's talking about with our relationships, the people that we are walking with. There are people that I love dearly, but I know I can't walk with them. I know I can't walk with them. It doesn't matter how much I may try, or how much I've tried to help them or build them up. It all comes down to a personal decision. There's just, you can't roll with everyone. You just can't. But I'm not saying that you stop loving them. If they're in need of your help, you extend the helping hand. There are people that I really, that cannot be in our circle. I don't want them by my children. I don't. But if they were to ask me, hey, I need help in this, or I need prayer, or, I really need to have a talk. Can we sit down and talk? You know what? I'm going to be right there. Because our heart to serve should never be blocked by the actions of other people. Okay? So I pray that you're understanding me. Second, I need someone to whom I could pour out my heart and talk to about anything at any time. So what is number 2? Accountability. I need accountability with someone that I can trust. I have certain people in my life, being a minister, I just can't talk to anyone. I can't talk to anyone. And I was going to say that I was talking with family, and one of the things that I realized that this pandemic did in my life was I stopped dreaming, and I've been doing this course online, on businesses and stuff like that. I've been doing that in this season because I believe that we should become smarter in this season and come out of this pandemic greater. I want our church to be greater. But one of the things that I was able to identify was that my energy and my joy to dream had got extinguished. I had to really just go back to I had to start really pushing myself. Okay, I need to fix this area. I need to pray about this. I need to take this to God, because that's not me. So number 2, we see it. We have to be accountable. We have to find someone that we can truly speak to. There are people in my life that I can speak to them about certain things. Like I Like my wife, I can speak to my wife about anything. My mom, I can speak to my mom about anything. My dad, I can speak to him about anything. But then I have other people that there's certain areas where I'm just like, I'll talk like this. Like there's certain things that I prefer to talk to my mom about than I prefer to talk to my dad about. And the thing is, because everybody in your life has a different place in your life. Pastora Cynthia said, our heart to serve should never be blocked by other people. You know what? That is fire. That is good, Cynthia. That is really good. That was the Lord gave me that. Bad moral corrupts good character. Yes. Bad morale, people that are carrying something. Look if you don't believe what I'm telling you about your affiliations and the people that you get around, look at this. Take your kids to a house where there is chaos. Take your kids to a place where the kids are disrespectful, and leave your kids with those kids for a couple hours. When you come back, you will see different children. You will see different children. But it works also the other way. I've seen other children that they're bouncing off the walls and they're all over the place. But then when they are spending time with our children, and I'm not saying my children are perfect, they do stuff just like you all, like all of our kids do. But then when they come with our children, all of a sudden they start following, because that's the atmosphere that has been created. People create an atmosphere, but I have to be accountable that I can have people that I can speak to, that I trust, that I can just open myself up and know that they're not going to go on Facebook and be like, oh, pray for Brother Nisaac because he's going through a really tough time and he feels like this, and he lost his dream and he lost this, and and that's not what I need. We need to all have people in our life that we can just reach out to. But this is one thing. You must be responsible with those relationships, because those are true friends. Don't only write them. Don't only call them when you need them to fix something in your life. Keep a consistency with their life. Keep a consistency with just like checking up on them. Send them a message so that when they see your name pop up on their phone, that they're not thinking, oh, what's wrong now? I'll be honest with you. Certain people, when they write me, like even before looking at the message, mommy, good morning. Even before looking at the message, I'm kind of like, oh God, what happened now? There's certain text messages that I receive from people, and in my mind, I'm just like, oh God, what are we going to have to fix now? Because it's just like, because the thing is, they only reach out to me when there is a problem. That is being selfish. When was the last time that you had one of your confidants, someone that you trust, someone that you cherish, someone that you're able to speak to about everything? When was the last time you just called them up and just be like, hey, you know what? I appreciate you. I just wanted to know how you're doing today. When? So number 2, you have to be accountable to someone. Emma, I don't know if you put it up there. You have to be accountable to someone that you can talk to, someone that you can share your heart with. You have to be able to do that. Number 3, you have to truly understand your emotions, for your emotions are warning lights. So when we look at that, number 3, I need to understand my emotions, because my emotions are an alert to what is going on. So I need to understand my emotions, because my emotions are an alert for what's going on. A lot of times your emotions and the way that you're feeling is a siren that is ringing, so that you realize, hey, something is wrong, and we cannot ignore that sweet voice, because a lot of times that sweet voice is the Holy Spirit. I was driving to the school to drop off the kids the other day, and when I was driving, something told me, go down this street. And I didn't. And I just went through my routine. And when I actually went, all of a sudden the entire street was blocked off and I was stuck. And the kids got to school like a couple minutes late because of that. But if I would have just listened to that sweet voice, then I would have not had that traffic. Even though you might look at it like, well, that's not a big deal. We all deal with traffic. But the thing was, I heard that sweet voice take the other street, and I just ignored it. So we have to learn how to be able to understand our emotions, how to understand our spiritual ear, because we have to have our ears and eyes open and our mouth ready to speak what the Lord is calling you to speak. So number 3, I need to understand my emotions. I need to understand how I feel at this moment. Sometimes when you evaluate where you are emotionally, it lets you know that you got to go back to number 2. I need to find someone to speak to. And number 1, I need to make sure that my spiritual and emotional life is in accordance and is all tied together. Okay? I know today is more teaching type. And thank you, Emma, for putting them up. So when we look at this, we have to understand that my emotions will alert me to hurt. My emotions will alert me to maybe the harm that maybe someone wants to bring into my life. My emotions, okay, for instance, you can be outside jogging and all of a sudden a Rottweiler comes out. The Rottweiler is drooling in their mouth. They're looking at you and they're just like, oh, they are ready to pounce on you. They are ready to have flesh for breakfast, lunch, and dinner. There is an emotion that immediately hits you, but that emotion also leads to fear because you start emotionally feeling, oh my God, this dog is going to kill me. And then fear comes in. Your emotions will lead you, your emotions will even wake you up to harm. It'll wake you up to harm. Number 4, I need to know that there is a meaning in the trials that I will endure. Number 3, whatever's happening in my life, whatever trial I'm going through, there is something that is going to come out of it. So I need to know that there is a meaning to the trials that I'm going through, the trials that I endure, the trials that I am battling. So I need to know that there is a meaning, that there is some explanation to what is going on in my life. There is some explanation. There is a meaning for why is it that I'm going through what I'm going through, because there's something greater on the other side. Why is it that you have to fight so much for that? Because there is something greater on the other side. So I have to be able to understand that just because I have trials, you need to endure in your trials. That's number 4. You need to endure in your trials because your trials always have a meaning. There is always, your trial is going to lead you to something. So I need to know that there is a meaning in the trials that I'm enduring. You might have been in that trial for maybe a good portion of time. Maybe you've been in that trial for a couple days or a couple months, a couple years. But if you continue to endure, things will change. Like I shared yesterday, speaking with Noriel, I said the one that fails are those that give up. But if you continue trying, eventually you'll get it right. Eventually you'll figure it out. Eventually something will shift. Something will shift. But you got to make sure that you continue moving forward. So number 4, if someone else can put it there, I need to know that there is a meaning in my trials that I endure. There is a meaning. There is something that I'm going to get out of this trial in my life. There is something that I'm going to grow in an area in the midst of this trial. I'm going to grow. Something's going to change in me. Something's going to change in me. And number 5, I need to have a shared mission. Like, for instance, look at this. If you are married, you need to have a shared mission with each other that is greater than just staying together. Okay, let me say this. Like, say for instance, in your relationships and in your relationships, family, marriage, you have to be sure that it's not only just staying together or being in perfect harmony. There has to be a greater goal in what's going on in your life. There has to be a greater win in your life. If your only purpose is, I just want to stay married and I just want to keep my friends. No, it has to be more than that. You need to impact in this world. We have the spiritual and emotional, but number 5, we need to be able to, in our relationships or wife, it has to be beyond just a relationship. It has to be more than just a relationship. I want my relationships to be greater. I want my friendships to be greater. But I don't want, I'm not in a relationship just to say, oh, everything's, no. I want to grow in my relationships. Growing in a relationship means at times you'll have arguments, you'll have disagreements. At times there will be certain things that you're just like, oh my God, I didn't like when you did that. That is part of growth. In a relationship, you're going to have arguments, you're going to have disagreements. So number 5, I need to have a greater mission within my relationships. I have to have a greater relationship. Look, if your sole goal is just, well, I just want to stay being friends. Okay, I get it. But you have to have, I need to have a shared mission with my wife, my relationship, people that is beyond just a relationship. It has to be more than that. My wife and I, we are imparting our entire life into our children. We are making sure to prepare them for anything that comes down their life. We're preparing them to give them a lot of options in their life when it comes musically, emotionally, in education and all those things. We're doing everything possible to help them out, because it has to be more than just, I just want my kids to be good. It has to be more than that, or I just want my kids just to be obedient and do whatever I tell them to do. No, it's not. I want more than that. I want to be able to see them grow and to mature into healthy human beings, not problematic human beings. I want them to be healthy human beings. So my wife and I, we're constantly, helping them. We let them bump into things, but then we guide them and we're like, hey, you know what? You had trouble with this because of this and this and this. So when we look at these things, thank you, babe. Love you. We haven't seen Pastora for some time.
That's taking care of business.
I'm taking care of business too.
Yeah, we all have business to take care of.
Can you put a little bit more sugar, please?
Papi, I put 3 packs.
Please.
It's not healthy for you.
Oh, Jesus.
It's okay.
One more scoop of sugar. Come on, please. I gotta finish.
Just a spoonful of sugar helps the medicine go down.
Oh, God, I love her. There's a greater mission than just having a wife. You have to be able to grow together. Yeah, she just took me off my game. I'm off now. I saw her and I'm done. Look at, let us focus on these 5 things during this week. And you guys are laughing. And let us build from where we're at. Number 1, your spiritual and emotional life. Number 2, you need to have someone that you're accountable to, someone that you can talk to, someone that you can share with. Number 3, understand your emotional state of mind, understand what's going on, because your emotions will direct you in what's wrong and what's going on. It will wake you up. Number 4, I need to know that there is a meaning to my trials that I'm enduring. I'm going to get through it and things are going to get better. And number 5, I need to have a shared mission with my relationships, my wife, children, whatever it is, whatever you put in that category. It could be wife, it could be girlfriend, it could be, you have to have a greater purpose. It's not just, I just want to be married. No, if you're looking at, well, I just want to be married. No, it's more than that. What are you going to change in the world with that relationship? What are you going to change in the world to make the world better in a greater way? Those are the things that I really felt in my heart. And this is something that I wrote some time ago, that I was really pondering when it came into life and when it came into my mindset and in the way that I have to organize myself to be able to be healthy in different areas. And, I really pray that this has really been a blessing, in your life. And my desire is to really be a help online. And I know I've been saying it, I'm letting you know, for next month, we're going to be rolling out a lot of new things, Daily Impact, we're going to be adjusting it. Daily Impact is not going to go away, but we are going to be making some changes, with the Daily Impact, Thank you, babe. You're too much. Thanks. So we're going to be making some changes. And I really believe that it's going to be great. It's going to be fun. So I just want you to know, I appreciate every moment that we share together. And I want you to share this with someone, let someone know. And don't forget, register for service. I want to see some of you I haven't seen yet. But I would love to see you on Sunday. I don't know if there's still spots open for Sunday. Are there still spots open for Sunday? Yeah, I don't know. Esta Cynthia, you're hilarious. I don't know if there's still spots open, but just check it out. We have the 3 services, be a part of it. And I know that it's going to be a tremendous blessing in your life. So family, have an amazing weekend. I think it's a long weekend. I think Monday we have off. So enjoy it. Be a blessing in someone's life. And I will see you Sunday in one of our services. If you're not able to come to our services, just log online and watch the service. And I believe that you're going to be blessed. I love you, family. Be blessed.